Welcome to, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to Lightworkers sharing their gifts. And we have an amazing Lightworker with us. Kawena, I'm so happy to have you here all the way from Oregon. I believe it's from Oregon. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to have you and welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. This is great.
Yay. So please tell everybody who you are and not what, like, who are you? What's
up? So my name is Kawena Charlot, and I have an intuitive school, and I've been doing this for about 10 years now, which is shocking that it's been that long, but who knew? When I was, I was never planning on doing this when I was a kid. I was like, I'm going to be a movie star or a princess or, a healer. That's where all my a writer, never in there was like, I'm going to have an intuitive school. But I ended up years ago having kind of a dark night of the soul where my acting career wasn't going the way I wanted it to, and stuff wasn't happening the way I wanted it to. And I got kind of depressed and started meditating, and I didn't know what I was doing. So I just started, I have a lot of past lives doing this. So I started seeing stuff and seeing spirits and seeing different things, and it kind of freaked me out. And so I was like, well, how do I get rid of this but get the benefits of meditating? And I happened upon a training program, and it became the most exciting thing I've ever done. And so I absolutely fell in love, and all the other stuff I'd done, the TV and the movies just became kind of boring in comparison. And I never was like, I'm going to do this to start a school. I was like, I'm going to do this because it's the coolest thing I've ever done. And then the economy downed 10 years ago, and I was like, oh, right, what's next? And then I was like, oh, maybe I should I read this article. They were like, psychics are the only ones doing well in this bad economy. I was like, that's hilarious, because I've just been in psychic school for like 5 years. So I started a professional business and then started training people. It all became very fluid. It wasn't even intentional. It was just I taught one class, and then my students were like, what's next? I was like, oh crap, I got to teach something next. And so I ended up having now I have a whole school, and I've helped thousands of people, and it's amazing. That's really one of the most amazing things I've ever done. So I feel super happy and privileged to be doing this.
Yeah. Oh, that is so awesome. And it sounds like it really was something that just went in line. It went very easily for you. So can you touch a little bit more about what happened with you seeing things? Because many people don't really understand that. And it freaked you out. It was like, oh.
Yeah. So I was in therapy at the time, and I started doing these meditations, and I would kind of almost like, I was remote viewing and astral projecting and just going out there, but I didn't know I was doing that. I was kind of having these visions, and I would see characters. So my therapist was like, oh, these are so fascinating. I'd write it all down. And she's like, these are all aspects of your personality. So there'd be like the old woman and me, my grandfather, and, these different Jesus, these different spirits. And I was like, okay, they're all aspects of my personality. This is what I'm seeing. And I'm learning all these lessons from these aspects of my personality. And then, one day I saw something that was icky, and I was like, really? Is that an aspect of my personality? I was like, oh shit, is that it? And then I asked a question, and when you ask a question, you get answers. So I asked the question, well, is this an aspect of my personality, or is this something else? And then all of a sudden I was trying to go to sleep one night, and I was fully awake, and this same aspect of my personality like walked in the door and was over the bed, and I was like, okay, I'm not meditating, like that's something else. Freaking me out. And then I felt like something hit the bed a few times, and stuff. So I started just seeing stuff. I kind of opened myself up, and then I'd walk into the living room, and there were these spirits hanging out. I just opened up a door, and I was like, oh, this has got to end. So I really went to school to end it. I was like, wanted to figure out how to get them all to go away and never come back and never talk to me again, which is hilarious, because now I do like mediumship work where I like have a whole audience, and I'll be like talking to them all. But it really helps when you have tools. When you have a tool set. So that's true. Yeah.
It's so true. No matter if you're just starting out, and you're starting to feel things and you're kind of seeing things, or it doesn't matter if it's clairaudient, clairvoyant, and many of you know these, or maybe you don't, and she'll explain some of them. But it really doesn't matter where you're at in your journey, because it can be always helpful to be able to have more tools. And we call them tools, secrets, tips, action. I call them action steps. I call them activities. But whatever it is, because you can get yourself freaked out.
You can get yourself freaked out. Yeah. Or you can, and it comes in differently for different people. Like I happen to be very clairvoyant, which is seeing energy. So I can see all this stuff. Some people, are clairaudient, so they hear stuff. But, I have people going, I'm hearing voices. Am I crazy? And I'm like, not that there aren't people that hear voices that aren't really hearing spirits, but some people are hearing spirit and they think they're crazy. And so, there's we as human beings all have the ability to expand on all of these senses, and they come in naturally for a lot of people. So learning, it's like a language. That's really what I show people, is this language of, this is your energy, this is other people's energy, this is yours, this is other, it's really, we're speaking it. All of us are speaking it. People they have different words. Oh, I've had a hunch. Oh, I had a bad feeling. Oh, I felt sick to my stomach. Oh, I got a headache when I was around that person. Those are all, they're trying to put words to something we're all speaking. And we all have, the reason we're all speaking this energy language is we all have chakras, and we're like antennas that are both sending out and receiving information all the time. But the more you kind of clean the antenna off and raise your frequency, the more clear that information can be. And you do that by learning how to manage your space. So you learn how to, separate your stuff from other people, release fears or whatever blockages.
And I think one of the biggest things that is to really take in is that you can do this. Anyone can do this. And
anybody can do this.
We all have our gifts and different gifts.
Yeah. It's not cookie cutter at all. And that's the great part about all of this, is we all have, and it comes in differently for everybody. So that's one of the benefits. And it's one of the joys. Sometimes my students will compare themselves to other, look at that person's seeing more. And I'm like, yeah, and you're hearing more. We're not all the same, thank God.
Absolutely. And I put the link in for you, and somebody is on the line, and it's Moretta.
Okay.
Yeah, and she wants to know, and she's already was saying. So I really want you to take in that no matter where you're at in your journey, that you can really learn how to step into more of, and I don't want to say spirituality. It's
different. It is a different thing. It can lead to a few different things. Learning how to manage your space. And I try to hit all three at my school, and I really leave it up to people how deep they want to go down each path. It can lead to incredible healing because you're no longer holding on to all of this other stuff. So depending on the amount of tools you have, it can lead to just incredible personal healing. It can lead to spiritual growth, because once you start realizing your spirit in a body and learning about, if you went way down that road and learned about karma and agreements and all that kind of stuff, there's a spiritual element to that. And people learn how to connect to the divine on their own and get their own answers. That's my goal, at least. So if people want that, they can have that. And then it's a lot of fun. It's really fun to enhance that stuff, and look at the energy of plants or talk to animals, or there's a lot of fun stuff that can happen. But the fun stuff is almost the bells and whistles and the healing, and but not everybody that can see energy is a spiritual person. Some people it doesn't always.
To understand is it doesn't have to be, and it doesn't mean that we're trying to take you out of whatever religion you are.
No. It's not a philosophy.
It's really understanding that you can be Catholic, Christian, that's where my background comes from, absolutely, and still believe in that, but yet be able to be intuitive.
Yeah,
and see things and realize that you're an empath, that you feel energy, and what do you do with that energy, because it can, and as she said, it can start to physically and emotionally start to hurt you, and
Yeah.
mentally. And that
Yeah,
is the big key to
and if
get
you
these tools.
Yeah, and Jesus was he was an amazing energy worker. I mean, he was like the end all be all energy worker. You know what I mean? I could so yeah, absolutely. This isn't a philosophy, and it's not a doctrine, and it's not a religion. It's I really do my best to kind of stay away from that. And I my goal is to encourage people to be able to um, just get clarity on their own connection with the divine and come to their own answers. You know, I teach people a skill set so that they can come to their own decisions about things and look at things in a different way. But I don't tell them what's right or what's wrong, or it's this way or that way. You know, they're getting a skill set so that they can learn how to do that for themselves.
That's beautiful. And, I think you just take a deep breath, everyone, and take this in about how many times do you just have a hunch, or you have that intuition, whatever you want to call it, she said, but yet you do nothing about it, when you can really dive in and create something different and understand yourself and understand how you can connect on a different level. And I'll go up, but really it's everywhere, but it's not necessarily up. But
Yeah.
that divine connection, no matter how or what religion or whatever, and it just hones that. And her teaching also is going to take you into another path. Always does, that maybe you have no idea what it is, and it could be the most fun, and it just opens up everything else.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think one of the things that I really enjoyed that you put in that, because, I looked at a lot of the things, is understanding the language of energy, because everything is, and as you all know on this show, I always talk about energy, vibration, and frequency, and that's really all we are. That's all we are. And how are we showing up? So if you want to talk a little bit more about that, and we have about like 10 more minutes, but yet,
Okay.
what that language and how you teach and recognize and lead others to that joyful place.
Yeah. I mean, part of the language is just recognizing, just like you were saying, that everything is energy, and how a specific people pick it up. So it's kind of like if you went to a foreign country and were like trying to figure out how to order or say hello, you're learning this and you're picking up it as you go along. So with this, it's like they learn concepts, and then they're like, oh, I realize that this person, when they come around me, I feel this way. And so they're picking up that other person's energy. It has nothing to do with them. Or like me, I used to pick up thoughts of other people. So I'll give you an example. I remember going to Blockbuster when I very first started learning how to do this. And I was looking for a movie, and it was a Friday night, but I was working the next day. So I was totally in a great mood when I got there. And only one other person was at Blockbuster. And we had the same movie taste because we kept standing in front of the same movies. And I would stand in front of this thing and then get these negative thoughts like, oh, I'm a loser for being home on a Friday night. And I'd be like, shake it off and kind of use my tool to release that. And then I'd walk around and I'd get the same thoughts. And it took a couple times to go, oh, I'm picking up this woman's thoughts. And it was such a kind of epiphany, because I realized that for years, especially as an actor, I had been just absorbing people's emotions and thoughts, sometimes even their physical sensations. And I thought it was all me. So I could have pick up somebody's thoughts, and then it could send me into a tailspin. I could pick up, oh, I'm a loser for not doing anything on a Friday night. And then we call it matching pictures and energy. I would get lit up on my own stuff that related to that person's stuff. And then I would just have a crappy night. So for me, learning, oh, wait, that's not me, and then being able to release it, I could go back to where my spot was, which was in a good space. And then as far as up leveling your own energy, sometimes you're personally in a crappy mood, and then there's tools to help change your own perceptions or your own thoughts or your own story around whatever it is that you're feeling. And try to get more neutral about it. There's a whole bunch of different tools, and then you can kind of shift your frequency, or just being understanding for yourself that you're in a mood and that's okay too, you know. So there's a lot of different tools, but a lot of people have this and it comes in differently. I get a lot of doctors and healers taking my classes and said, like, if you're a nurse and you're running from patient to patient to patient learning, it's easy. You know, these people get burned out because they're, you know, in this environment where people are pretty much, you know, either sick or have heightened emotions. And so when they learn how to separate that, it's like a godsend. So yeah. So
Fabulous. Well, do you have just like a free 15-minute chat with you that they can like ask some questions before?
Before the class?
Uh-huh.
No, not. I mean, I don't have something like that set up. But yeah, if people want to call in, I just had. They can. There's one starting on Tuesday, so if they're interested, yeah, just have them give me a call. I can chat with people for a bit.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is just go ahead and message her here, and that you were wanting that 15-minute, and then she'll get back with you, because I think that's the important. A lot of people want to talk before, so.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
There's
Sure.
the link, you know, the link is right there to go and check out the whole entire thing. But if you want to talk to her beforehand.
Well, have them check it out and then ask me questions, because otherwise they're just going to ask what's on that. They'll get better questions if they look at the link and look at the class and what it's offered, and then they can ask more specific, you know, questions. But there's a free class as well if they're interested in that.
There's a free class?
Yeah. So I have that.
What we're going to do is afterwards, the amazing intuitive lady here at Lightworker, she's going to put that link on every single page and on YouTube so that you can find that, so that you can get that free offer and really kind of get to know her. And then you can decide what you want to do from there. So I think this was awesome. So what is there another story, or maybe just one? I mean, you have a couple of minutes. Is there like one tool that seems to be like easily done for everyone that you can give?
Yeah. Oh, right here, right now?
Yeah.
Well, the whole class is better for that really easy tool. One way, now, this is super, super rudimentary. You have to realize when you're getting true hits, and you know, a lot of people have their own fears about things. So a part of getting really clear, kind of getting clarity with any kind of intuition, is learning how to clean your filters and getting to kind of a neutral point. So that being said, not having any of that, if you just want kind of a hit, but you still might have that. I just want people to know that they wouldn't have that clarity of filter. But if they just wanted a quick hit and they were trying to decide between one thing and the next, one of the ways to feel it in your body would be to kind of take both of those choices and just kind of imagine like one choice in one hand and the other choice in the other hand. So if they could say, give me a choice. What's a choice? Do I go on a date with this guy on Friday night? They could feel like, okay, here's the going on a date with this internet date. I'm feeling this in my body, and maybe they'd feel jittery and hopeful and kind of excited, you know, and then, and they feel that in their body, and they'd go, okay, I'm not going on the date on Friday night with this same guy. Maybe they would feel disappointed or kind of nervous, or like justifying themselves for like, oh, internet dates are the worst. So that would kind of give you the yes, no, where you're really at. So you'd be like, oh, I want to go to that. My body kind of wants to go, you know? So that would be just kind of putting the choice in your hands, and you're kind of interpreting it through your body. So that's kind of a way people can kind of see what their physical space is kind of wanting in that moment.
So that's awesome. And, it is really powerful when and like she said, though, you really have to come to a place of relaxation and coming from your inner self and being connected to get to that. But that is so wonderful, because that's like kinesiology. Your body is always telling you what to do. It really is. So beautiful. And somebody is asking, where is the free class? Well, she'll put the free class on after. It'll be a link. And then do you pay Oh, okay. Well, you'll go back and you'll answer those questions for her if she needs anything else. I don't know if you can see the comments right there.
I can't see them.
Yeah, you can. You're probably on the private chat. You need to be on the other.
Oh, look, there's comments.
There you go. Yes. So there it is. So I'll put that up.
Yeah, I'm happy to go through there. So I can do that after we get off and go answer these people too.
That'd be great. That'd be great. And there is the link again, but I also put it in the chat. So that's going to be a lot.
So that link is going to have the free class on it. And that'll have the information about, I put everything for your page on there with the free class as well as the.
Yeah. Well, fabulous. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to leave with everyone? This was wonderful. And, you know, if you're ready, if you're seeing things, and it's not just if you're seeing or hearing, it's not just that, because look, I've been doing this for over 20 years and I don't see anything, and I'm good with that. So we all have our different gifts. So it's wanting to see how you show up in your energy and what's happening with you, reach out to her, because this is wonderful.
Yeah. So if people feel like they're wanting more balance, or they're feeling like they are kind of drained or worn out, that's usually a sign of kind of being depleted. If they're feeling like they're wanting kind of a different direction per se, you know, but a lot of it is about balance or feeling overwhelmed by, you know, either emotionally, physically, you know, that kind of thing. A lot of times that overwhelm is just them picking up so much information, especially right now with what's going on in the world. There's, you know, people are really picking up a lot of other people's energy. So if they can learn how to kind of be in their own space a little bit with that, then it'll be a lot easier to be kind of emotionally and mentally even keeled. Yeah.
So if you want to be balanced emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and physically, I really highly recommend that you check out and see on this website and really read about and put yourself in there, because there's going to be a lot of different places where you're going to fit into these spots. And go ahead and give yourself permission to call out, because right now in our society, in our nation, in the world, everybody's talking about energy. Everybody's really getting the energy and how you want to be in that. So I really encourage that. So I thank you for being here today and offering this. It was so wonderful. You're an amazing light worker, and you can help thousands. Yay.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this was a pleasure for sure.
Oh, for sure. Great. And what would you like to leave everyone with?
I just have a little saying, just if you change your energy, you're going to change your life. I mean, that's really it. You know, we are beautiful, amazing magnets in a way, you know, and people often think that if they change and sometimes shifting your externals can affect how you feel inside, but affecting how you feel inside and how you navigate definitely affects your externals. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. So it's really amazing to do at any time, but especially right now. It's a huge step it's a huge benefit that people can do.
It will benefit every part of your life. Absolutely. So thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Everybody for being here. Please go ahead and share it out, because you know your sister, your brother, your best friend needs this. And I'll be back with you next week again for some more fun. And remember to always change your mindset, ignite your life, and shine on. So keep shining on, everybody.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.